Now, the Africa Center for Energy Policy, ACEP, is making a case for government to withdraw licenses of petroleum companies that have exploration agreements with the state but are unable to start exploration. According to the energy policy think tank, the country's oil and gas fields must be exploited substantially to benefit the economy before the rapid shift from fossil fuels to clean and renewable energy. Here's more in this report. Speaking to journalists at the Gas Forum organized by ACEP and the Natural Resources Governance Institute, team lead for conventional energy at ACEP, Kojo Yauche, stressed the need for government to take action before the country misses out on benefits.
I think they should take it from them, because it's been a long time now. Some of them have been holding on to these blocks since 2014, some 2016. They have to take it from them and give it to serious people. And also beyond that, when it comes to investment, the existing companies that are here have the capacity to do more investment. You know, I just discovered oil on Block 4. If they are willing to do the investment, so we have to create a good investment climate for even those that are already here to put in more money to recover the resources that we have.
Objectives of the Gas Forum, among others, were to re-examine the bottlenecks that hinder the realization of value from Ghana's gas resources for national development. Here's Head of Africa Programs at the Natural Resources Governance Institute, Dennis Jiyuri.
What could we do with our gas? First of all, how much gas is even available in the first place? Of course, we know that for the producing fields, we talk about close to 2 trillion cubic feet between Sankofa, Jubilee and Tem. But beyond these fields, where else are we exploring, and what potentials are in those fields that we are exploring at the moment? Wanted to bring all these conversations together and explore the options for using the gas as a transition fuel to bridge the gap. Already we are doing a lot with gas, firing all our power plants except one. And as we head from the chamber, gas has a potential to provide about 58% of our electricity demand. And so we need to really focus the conversation on gas, because it has effects on our life, our economic lives as a country.
Analysts have, however, observed the investments in the upstream sector continue to slow. Well, joining us with some perspective on this story is energy specialist Dr. Yusuf Suleiman. Great to have you on the marketplace this afternoon. So we want to begin with the demand that ACEP is making, that oil and gas firms that have licenses to explore that are not doing so or yet to start, the licenses should be taken from them. What do you make of that call by ACEP?
Opportunity to cherish viewers in Ghana and across the globe. I think ACEP on this occasion is spot on with respect to the call that they are making. And the reason is that if you look at the upstream, Darrell, upstream consists of exploration and production. You cannot produce when you don't explore. And you explore by taking a block and then making concerted effort to make that, to drill something or to just make an effort to get something out of the block. Ideally, in conventional case, most blocks are taking maximum of 7 years. Beyond which those who grant you the permission to hold the block will have to see some seriousness in you, as in the financial muscle, the technical ability and financial muscle, to be able to do something on the block. If you don't do that and you hold block beyond, a decade, I think that is not acceptable. And so the government of Ghana, of course, have to look at the situation that is, pertaining, why they are not able to explore, put in money, to do something within these blocks. Other than that, I think we might lose opportunity. And the reason being that I think investment into the world of hydrocarbon is, I keep on saying, is dwindling. And it's dwindling so fast to the extent that, we have oil prices been around 100 plus, yet we don't have the cost of investment that we would have expected. And the reason being that we have what we call ESG, environmental social governance. So there's serious competition between investment into the world of hydrocarbon and then investment into the renewables. So if that is the case, I think we should give opportunity for others, those who have the financial muscle and the technical ability to be able to explore. We can't keep blocks beyond, 10 years. That's not acceptable, yeah.
What's your understanding of the challenges these oil and gas firms may be grappling with right now? For which reason they wouldn't explore?
Yeah, so two things. It's just the state-of-art capability in terms of technical know-how, and then the other one is financial ability. And I think the latter one is what I think is, is what is holding. Even if you don't have the state-of-art ability to be able to explore, but you have the financial muscle to be able to do that, you can get the technology. The technology is out there in the market, So these are the two reasons that I think they are not able to get, they are not able to do something on this course. And I can tell you, like I mentioned, that because of the constraint of investment into the world of hydrocarbon, and like the guy, the ACEP guy is saying, if with those that we have within the field, like Talo players, ENI players, and then the Jubilee players, if they have the capability of entering into these blocks, and the blocks are proven to be viable, I think they should be given opportunity. People should release those blocks, for serious guys to take into it. And one thing that I need to add, if you observe Ghana after 10 years of producing oil, we can boast up to more than 200,000 per barrel per stream day. That is so unfortunate. With two fields together, we are still doing around 180. We are struggling even within that neighborhood after 10 years. And the reason being that we are not doing any more exploration and production. And we don't do that. Remember, even the fields that we have, they will decline. Oil fields within 10 years, they're going to plateau and they will decline. So if you don't do new investment, even into your existing fields, you're going to have yourself to blame. Yeah.
All right. And to your point about government's ambitions when it comes to production of oil and gas as well. So that makes it even more concerning if there are low investments in the upstream sector. So what can be done now?
Yeah, a couple of things, but one thing that comes to mind is the government to take the bull by the horn. To approach this thing head on. And what I mean by approaching it head on, in other jurisdictions, like I mentioned, where I do come from, you can't hold block within. They will give you 3 years. They'll give another 3 years. If they don't see you doing anything substantial in terms of exploring, they'll take it from you. If you want to keep it, then there have to be a penalty. All right, you can keep it at your own risk. So if we don't have that within our laws, or they are there and they are not being enforced, then that's unfortunate. But if you don't have that, then government should consider making some punitive measures. You can keep the blocks for 100 years, but you need to pay for that. Even that shouldn't be our priority. We shouldn't keep blocks down because probably you want to explore. And sometimes we are still looking for investors to do that. And I can tell you that investment into the world of carbon is challenged, all right? So yes, one thing is the punitive measures. If you want to keep it beyond certain period, you do that at your own cost, yeah.
All right, and the forum also highlighted the gas market challenges. I want to read bits of the extra that I have here for you. It says that the gas sector has consistently suffered delayed payments and created significant interagency debt. Ghana currently owes $150 million for gas supply from Sankofa. At the same time, Ghana Gas owes GNPC about $664 million due to chronic non-payment for gas supply to the power sector. So the gas sector. So this is a big problem, isn't it?
It is indeed. I always mention that if there's anything that can catapult us into high industrialization mode, it is our gas reserves. And we have over trillions of cubic feet of gas within our shores. And I can tell you that we haven't been able to take advantage of that. We have to make concerted effort. And what gas can do at this period, it can serve as a conduit. We are going through energy transition of a sort. And gas is noted as a credible conduit to transition us from one energy quadrant to another energy quadrant. And to the extent that, if you remember, at a point in time, even though we used to import liquid fuel to generate power, we were flaring gas. It means that we didn't have our priorities right. Ideally, in Ghana, in conventional fields, what we normally do is that once you are certain that you have this quantum of gas coming from the field, you have to develop your gas infrastructure before even extracting oil. That's why upstream investment, upstream activities are quite expensive because you need to take the risk. If your seismic data and everything shows that you have this abundance of gas, make concerted effort to come up with a gas field. And what gas field will do is that, first of all, it's able to optimize oil production. If you quite remember some time ago, when Talo used to complain the fact that, they couldn't offtake the gas. And that's a fact. If you can't offtake the gas within your oil field, it just means that you cannot produce the oil. So it's two ways. One way is to double up the investment into gas sector. It's very important. By now, Ghana Gas Ghana Gas is an excellent product. I can say whenever it comes from, I think it was an excellent initiative by the government. But we need to have multiple trains of Ghana Gas to be able to take advantage of the gas that we have. We have them, all right? We do have them within our shores. But we need the quantum of investment to be able to extract them. Otherwise, they become stranded assets. So government of Ghana need to make this effort. And then we link up the power sector and then the petroleum sector. And that will also, in a way, bring down the cost of generating power. I mean, I'd not bring down drastically, but we can generate power at competitive rates. So yes, we need investment into the gas fields, and we need to take advantage of the gas. Other than that, it becomes stranded. And if it becomes stranded, I think we'll have ourselves to blame.
And Doc, stay with me because we are learning prices of petroleum products are expected to witness some significant reduction from this weekend based on data secured from bulk oil distribution companies. Before I get your reaction to this story, take a listen to this report by my colleague George Afe.
Based on the data seen by Joy Business, a litre of diesel is expected to be reduced by just under 1%, resulting in it being sold at 10 Ghana cedis 37 pesos, while petrol will go down by more than 2%, resulting in a litre being sold at 10 Ghana cedis 18 pesos as its new price. LPG will witness one of the biggest drop in price per kilogram, with the new price being reduced by almost 9%. But for those that might describe this as insignificant, well, this is the price that the bulk oil distribution companies are willing to sell to the oil marketing firms for the next 2 weeks. However, we understand that these price cuts didn't factor the recent 15 pesos reduction that government announced. One could also talk about a new arrangement by the Bank of Ghana to support the bulk oil distribution firms with dedicated supply of dollars. Sources say if you factor all these developments, then we could witness some huge reduction at the pumps from next week. Crude oil prices, as well as those of the finished petroleum products, have also seen some consistent drop over the past week. A move that could also tell us that the outlook might not be bad when it comes to future pricing of petroleum products.
All right, so that's George Afe's report. We've seen a lull in Brent crude prices globally, and the cedi is a bit stable now. But I guess the question is, how sustainable is this reduction we are seeing?
So thank you very much. And that's the word I wanted to just pick from you. Yes, sustainability is very important. It's not a one touch fix, and it's not also one quick fix. So the report is an excellent one. And if you look at what goes into what a consumer pays at the pump, I always mention that there are three things. We have the exchange rate, element of it. We have the prevailing oil prices that is pertaining in the global space, and then the taxes. All right. Now, taxes, we are struggling to go there for obvious reasons. We need money to champion our developmental agenda. Though some of us call that we can do something. The second option is the exchange rate, and I think that's what that's the component BDC guys are working on. If they can do something to get a dedicated supply of dollar, at stable rate, fixed rate, not too down, but at very stable rate, it will go a long way to have impact on the pumps. Right. So yes, if CEP can do that to get the dollar stabilized, to get, whatever we are importing, so that we don't have that much of fluctuation, I think it will help. The third component is what we have in the prevailing oil market. We don't have control over it. And I can tell you that it's still very fluid, as I speak now. Any oil price within the 3-digit figure is not something good for the poor consumer at the pumps. As we are speaking now, it's around 110, and every day it goes by 3%, drop by 3% because of obvious reasons. The situation in Ukraine, things are still not stable. There's so much uncertainty in the market. Yeah, so the global space, the oil price within the global space is still very dicey. I can't put my hope on that one. However, it's getting stable. But if the currency portion of it, which I think the CBOC is working on, gets stabilized, I think we should be able to get some reduction within the pumps. And I think that should be a welcoming one.
Some respite for everyone.
Yeah, to the extent that they are saying it doesn't encapsulate this 15 pesos that we are talking about. Okay. Then we are expecting something good. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Yusuf Suleiman, as always, with your thoughts this afternoon. Appreciate it.